Ready?
Our direct ancestor's name was John Sheehan, which is...
We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the August 23rd, 2018 meeting for the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Kevin Cook. I serve as the chair. Joining me today is Commissioner Shelley Bueller. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Commissioner Bob Archer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Madam Clerk, if we could start with our first item.
Consent agenda?
There is one item on the consent agenda. Is there any question?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
New business, A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Vouchers are totaling $515,803.19. We have $158,455.62 under detention facility. Most of that is with Aramark and Corizon. District Court has $67,291.48. And of note is under building and maintenance, Kansas Fencing is at $30,000 for fence at Hillcrest. So I have no questions. Move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Number 2, there are no correction orders. Item B, Bond Council, number 1, public hearing on assessments for Timber Ridge Subdivision Street Benefit District Phase 4 and Sterling Chase Subdivision Number 1 Street Benefit District Phase 3, and consider approval of resolution numbers 2018-40 and 2018-41, authorizing the assessments.
Good morning, Bob Perry. Before we hold the public hearing, I thought, since we haven't done one of these for several years, it'd probably be good to have a record a little bit more thorough than we're just here. The developers on these projects are John Rolahagen, Chuck Doltmeyer, and Doltmeyer Homes. Timber Ridge is out southwest, 1 acre and 53rd. Sterling Ridge is... Sterling Chase, rather, is 46th and around Button Road, I remember, north of town. They filed a petition at the time. The developers own 100% of the land. With the petition, they posted a surety bond, 1/3 the cost of the estimated improvements. The surety bond will stay in place until certain criteria are met once enough homes are sold or value increases. We also had the developers execute a guarantee, which guaranteed the payment of any unpaid special assessments as long as they owned those lots, just as additional security. The construction of these projects, the street improvements are complete. They've asked that they be assessed over a 20-year period of time. Once these resolutions are passed and approved and published, the owners of the lots will have 15 days to prepay the assessments. Once that has occurred, we'll size a deal and sell general obligation bonds payable over a 20-year period of time. The special assessments will be the main payment stream of those bonds.
Questions for Bob or?
And there's security.
There's a 1/3 the cost of the project is a surety that was posted by the developers, and they've executed a guarantee both in their corporate capacity and their personal capacity, guaranteeing any special payment of all special assessments on any lots and blocks that they own until they're sold. And we had the guarantee put in place after the 2008-2009 recession, and we had a lot of unpaid specials. But it's a guarantee, Bob. It's enforceable like any other contract. If they file for bankruptcy, then the lots and blocks are going to be like unpaid specials that fall within the category of unpaid taxes, and they'll be subject to a tax sale.
Any other questions? Okay. At this time, I would move to open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion made to open public hearing by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. At this time, the public hearing is now open. Are there any comments or questions from the public regarding this item?
I have one thing I probably should have said earlier. the developers paid for the sewers themselves. So they have a substantial investment in these lots and blocks, put out of their own pocket already with the sewers.
I think with your explanation earlier and the clarification that you just added, I don't have any additional questions. I would move to adopt and close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion to adopt and close the public hearing by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item C, Public Works Solid Waste. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C-261, 2018, Amendment Number 1 to Contract C-102, 2015 with MCON, Inc. for on-call emergency wastewater collection system repair services, extending the contract for a one-year period beginning September 1, 2018, and terminating August 31st, 2019, with all other terms of the original contract remaining unchanged.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Flanagan, Public Works Solid Waste. As you just heard, this is an amendment to an existing contract we have with MCON. It's provide on-call emergency wastewater sewer repair services that we need. We recommend approval. No other changes will be made to the contract other than just to extend it for 1 year period of time.
And this is a contract that we've had in place since 2015.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then any concerns with the contract? It's just been working well, and so with 1 more year for extension?
Yeah, that's correct, and it's worked quite well for us.
Okay. Any other questions regarding it?
I'll move to approve the contract
Second.
and note that Tom really looks nice in the jacket.
Thank you.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item D, Sheriff's Office. Number 1, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Sheriff Jones regarding the purchase of a dual-purpose patrol narcotics detection K-9 in amount of $9,500 with funding from the asset forfeiture account.
Good morning, Commissioners. Danny Lottridge, Sheriff's Office. We intend to purchase a dual-purpose narcotics trained K-9. This dog will be assigned to our third shift patrol, and we will use money from the asset forfeiture account to purchase this dog.
Any questions for Captain Lottridge regarding the request? I would move to acknowledge the purchase of the narcotics dog.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook to acknowledge, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next item.
Item E, Court Administration. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C-262, 2018, with zero turnaround for annual technical support for the ex-Rebel development tool that builds software unique to the needs of the district court for 3 years at a one-time cost of $1,290.02, funded from the 2018 budget.
Good morning, Charles Hydevich, District Court. As indicated, this is a piece of software that we use to help support the court's needs. This is a 3-year contract, and rather than doing it on an individual basis, we thought it would be best to do it for 3 years. We get a slight discount by doing a multi-year contract with this company. We've been using them for several years, and we're very happy with the support and the services that they offer us.
Any questions regarding the contract?
I'll move to approve the contract.
Second.
Motion to approve the contract by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item F, Information Technology. Number 1, consider approval of request to advertise and fill an open application developer 1 position at a salary, including benefits, of $58,069.04, and to create, advertise, and fill a personal computer technician position at a salary, including benefits, of $51,504.56 annually, with funding that has been included in the 2018 and 2019 budgets.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pat O'Blainer with the Information Technology Department. As indicated in the memo, the IT office would like to advertise and fill 2 positions that we currently have in our department. They are funded for 2018 and for 2019. They are included in the budget, so there would not be any additional funding required to support those positions. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Any questions for Pat?
I'll move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Our next item.
Item G, appraiser. Number 1, consider approval of request for out-of-state travel for one person to attend the International Association of Assessing Officers Annual Conference at a cost not to exceed $2,000 for mileage, lodging, and per diem, and $770 for registration, with funding from the 2018 budget.
Morning, Commissioner. Steve Bauman, County Appraiser. This is our appraisal, our International Appraiser Organization's annual conference. It's a great opportunity to get continuing education, and with over 1,200 appraisers from around the world attending, a great networking opportunity. There's going to be nearly 80 educational sessions that are considered timely, in my opinion. Big box methodology, effective leadership, legislative and legal, and some GIS sessions as well, including drone technology, the use of in the appraisal field, and legal considerations that go with it. So it'd be pretty interesting. There's also going to be nearly 50 vendors there with new technologies that they're trying to sell, ideas, and things that would help create efficiencies as well as accuracy enhancements. I will be traveling by private vehicle if approved, and as Cindy indicated, the cost is not to exceed $2,770. This is included in our 2018 budget, and funds are available.
Any questions for Mr. Bauman? I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item H, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider approval of request to repurpose 5 vacant positions into 4 new positions, refill 8 vacant positions, and reclassification of 1 position for an annual savings of $3,848.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. The only thing I'd like to correct is that is not a reclassification of a position. That's a classification of a position. The last thing that the clerk read there. Just to bring you up to speed on this, we've had several retirements, several people resign. We've taken the chance, or this opportunity, to look at all of the positions, look at our strengths and weaknesses, and repurpose some of these positions. All of the items that the clerk just read off, all of that would result in about a $3,800 a year savings. I'd be happy to answer any other questions you may have. Olivia Mayer, our new professional development superintendent, has worked really hard with Angela Lewis on putting this structure together.
Commissioner Ricker, any questions?
I'd like to defer this for a week. What I'd really like to see is an organizational chart and maybe a discussion on, I mean, this is a pretty major reorganization, I think.
I wouldn't call it a reorganization. I'm just repurposing some positions. For instance, all we're doing here is putting somebody in charge of, I'll just start at the bottom of the repurposing here. Purchasing coordinator, we have like 8 or 9 people in our department that currently do that. This is taking leftover dollars and having one person centralize all that purchasing. We've done, and then still work with the purchasing department for writing RFPs, all of those type of things. Right now, we've got 10 or 12 people who buy seasonal shirts for their summer staff and their camps. This would narrow this down to one person buying them all for the department, one set of rules, so it doesn't get fuzzy. These are vacant positions that have been on the books for a while. The administrative assistant for the cemetery, we recently found out that that's more of a enterprise type fund, and I think this is one that we really needed to have one person in charge of that instead of a clerical person. The planning and development director, you guys in April presented to us a great opportunity when you presented to us $3 million for deferred maintenance. We're not set up now. The deputy
Terry Bertles resigned, that was in his division. Lou Griffiths, the person who was in charge of our facilities and construction, he retired. All of this does is pull all of those things into one position. To be able to move on that $3 million, we really need a focus on facilities, construction, maintenance plans, those type of things.
Commissioner Archer, I think you know what you had asked for is maybe just a visual graphic so you could see kind of what it looks like now versus what it would look like under the reclassification.
Yeah, that is essentially it.
We might even have one with us this morning,
That'd be
unless you
great.
wanted to defer.
Well, I mean, I think that perhaps it would be best to defer so that we just, again, have an opportunity to look at it.
Okay.
Make sure that we have all our i's dotted, t's crossed, and make sure that we understand the implications and of what it is that's going to be happening. Because there is quite a bit of movement within the department. Not saying that it wouldn't be justified or under your plan, but just to make sure that we're all aware of how it would look in the end.
Okay.
I know that you have been refining your department several times over the last couple of years, as you've had people that have retired or have resigned, as you've had younger employees coming up in the ranks, but just as you continue to refine what your organizational chart looks like.
We, just so you know, we'll have several more in the recent months, or the upcoming months and year or so too. We have a lot at that age where they can retire.
Yeah, I don't want to give the impression I'm opposed to this. I've been impressed with what you've done as far as personnel and reorganization. I just want more information on it and a picture of what it's going to look like. So if we could defer for a week.
How about we put it on the Monday? Would Monday be?
Well, we're going to talk about comprehensive plan quite a bit on Monday.
So Thursday's agenda?
That would be my preference, if that's all right, Mr. Chair.
Sure, that's fine.
So this item then would be a motion to defer by Commissioner Archer to the Thursday, the 30th agenda.
I apologize if I responded making you think that you were not in support of this. I just came off of sitting on a pontoon boat for 7 days in Minnesota, come back to Topeka and it's raining, so yeah, I'm not quite as cheerful as I normally am. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, John.
Motion to defer until August the 30th by Commissioner Archer.
Second.
By Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Number 2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-263, 2018 with Cook, Flatt, and Strobel Engineers for design services for the Deer Creek Trail Extension in an amount of $170,000 with funding provided by the Parks and Recreation Building Maintenance Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Parks and Recreation, and I'm still waiting for the time John's cheery, but I guess there are times that he is. But anyway, before you today is an agreement with Cook, Flatt, and Strobel for the design services of the Deer Creek Trail project. If you recall, about 3 weeks ago, we were down and we asked approval to go out for RFP as part of the KDOT grant for this project. On August 16th, our professional selection committee met and went over the proposals, and they unanimously chose Cook, Flatt, and Strobel to negotiate with. We were kind of on a timeline, so we immediately sat down with Cook, Flatt, and Strobel and came up with this contract before you. I was very pleased. It's under the budget that we estimated, so we're excited over this. Today we do have Kevin Holland with Cook, Flatt, and Strobel. If you'd have any questions for either one of us, I'd be glad to answer them.
Mr. Holland, would you be willing to come up and just kind of walk us through in maybe some layman's terms what all your office will be doing as we get moving on the Deer Creek Trail?
Absolutely. Good morning, Commissioner, all commissioners, but what we'll start, so we're actually going to start next Wednesday. We're going to walk a path or a trail to get a feel of where this trail is going to be laid out. Obviously, it's going to change after we get some topography, but then we immediately set our surveyors out. It's a quick timeline on this because we're on a KDOT schedule from a grant fund. So once we get that, I believe we have 4 bridges in this as well. So we will lay out the rough concept location for the trail, survey it in, begin into heavy design, bridge design, and then make our steps. We have to go through KDOT review as well as county review as well. So I believe there's 3 separate reviews and then a final review for letting, I believe, next June. So it's a pretty compressed schedule for a pretty lengthy project.
When we're doing the design, is there a lot of input from the Parks and Rec staff as to, I mean, are we trying to find the straightest path from point A to point B? Are we trying to design something that gives you more of the amenities of the wildlife or
And the
topography?
So as we've done with other paths, whether it's Lake Shawnee or anything else, what we'd love to have is in a path is something that looks like it was meant to be there versus a path that looks a little awkward when you're walking on it. So trying to blend it into the natural habitat without necessarily, straight lines are great from an engineer's perspective, but most people don't enjoy a straight line path because you have to have a little bit of weave. And not to mention, we try to be as cognizant as keeping as many trees and natural products out there as we possibly can. So you bend around some trees and kind of go along with the flow of the land and make it look like it should be there.
Okay. Any
Good.
questions?
No.
And then the final timeline talks for it to be coming back on June the 30th of 2019 or somewhere along that line.
And I believe very technically that line, because I believe that's on a KDOT letting, so that'll be scheduled, and us as well as Shawnee County Parks and Rec will get the KDOT updates to make sure we're on schedule for that letting as well.
So for the public that is maybe going out to Deer Creek or walking along Deer Creek, they might see some surveying stakes coming up.
Absolutely. For those that want to kind of get a feel of what we're thinking, as we walk it next Wednesday, we'll probably take little, looks like utility flags, but it'll actually be survey flags, and we'll stick them in almost a center line along that trail so that it's easy to go back for the next few weeks afterwards to kind of get a feel and massage the feel and the layout of that trail. So there will be a visual representation after we walk it on Wednesday.
Okay. Very good. Any other questions? Commissioner Archer?
And remind the public of how long this extension is going to be?
This,
1.7 is the estimate.
1.7 miles of concrete path with four, I say bridges, it depends on what they are, but grade crossings, channel crossings.
Okay. And the price is $170,000. What did we estimate it would be, Randy?
I believe we had 220, and we took it off of the construction part of the budget and went with basically 10%, and obviously they did very well under that.
Although if you do feel the need, we would take the 220.
I don't feel that need at all.
Well, looking at what we're doing, and we've done a lot of trails, whether it's across the state of Kansas. I think our team is very well geared into efficiencies, and I think we can provide this product on time and under budget.
Good. Thank you. I'll move to approve the contract.
Motion to approve the contract by Commissioner
second.
Archer. Second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Our next item.
Item I, Administrative Services. Number 1, update on expenses and revenue.
Good morning. Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services. I'm here today with our financial report for July 31st of 2018. I will remind you that this is a snapshot of that date. And we will start on the revenue side. Our year-to-date revenues as of July 31st are $91,093,411. That compares to our budgeted or estimated amount of $91,155,923. So that is $62,512 under our estimate. And as you know, I always like to look at a percentage and like to keep us, the goal is to keep us within 1% of that. Well, this is right on budget. This is 0.06%. So that would be 6/100ths of 1%. So that's, and some of them are up and some of them are down, but overall, that is exactly where we are. This chart just shows the different categories, and this really shows how much of the revenue it comes from property taxes. The first category is property tax revenue. We've received $75,055,222. There is no change in this because we will not receive another distribution until September. Next category is other taxes. We received $9,052,397. That is $83,000 over budget, and that's kind of spread between items, the alcohol tax, the highway tax, the franchise tax, and the commercial motor vehicle fees are all a little over budget. The next one is property-related fees. We received $1,024,898. That is $95,000 over our budgeted or estimated amount, and that is registration tax is down, but the filing fees is up. As we knew that they're changing more to filing fees rather than the registration. The next one is charges for services. We've received $2,836,021. That is actually $331,000 under budget, and that's all in the Parks and Rec area. Next is other revenue. We've received $3,124,872. As you can see, this is over budget, and it's over by $482,000, and that is mostly from penalties and interest, which is over what was estimated, and then also investment income. This is just our pie chart that shows 82% of our revenue has come from property taxes. Other taxes is 10%, 1% for property-related fees, charges for services is 3%, and then other revenue at 4%. Do you have any questions on the revenue?
No.
Let's go on to the expenditures. Our total expenditures through July 31st is $55,456,949. That is compared to our budgeted of $56,349,668. That is $892,000 under budget, which is the right way on expenditures, so we are actually under budget. And there again, my percentages, this is 0.85% of our total budget of $105 million. So there again, within our reasonable range of variance. I'll look at each category individually, but this chart just kind of shows you the different categories and how much of our budget comes from each of those categories. The first category is law enforcement. We've paid $26,169,973. That is $284,000 under budget. But I will point out that although we are under budget for this year, we have spent $950,000 more than we had spent this time last year. Public health, we have spent $6,312,298, and that is right on budget. Administrative services, we spent $7,339,218, That is $555,000 under budget. And there's really two categories that kind of stick out, but the rest of it's kind of spread among all the departments in that area. Most every department is under budget by some amount. But the contingency, through the end of July, we were $196,000 under estimated for our contingency money. And then the general expenses are $65,000 under budget. So our utilities have come in a little less than was estimated, which is always a good thing. Next category is Public Works. We've spent $5,442,024, and that is right on budget. Parks, Recreation, and Expo Center, we've spent $9,292,856, and that again is right on budget. And our last category is debt service. We've spent $900,580, and there again, that is right on budget. So this is just our chart that shows our different categories. Nothing new here. Law enforcement is the largest, and debt service is the smallest. And then this is the pie chart that shows law enforcement makes up 47% of our expenditures. Public health is 11%. Admin services, 13%. Public Works, 10%. Parks, Recreation, and Expo is 17%. And then debt service is 2%. And I will, before I ask for questions, I will point out that although our revenue shows $91 million and our expenditures show $55 million, as I remind the public, we have received the majority of our revenue for the year, where on our expenditures, we still have 5 months of expenditures to pay out. So now, any questions?
Any questions for Betty Griner? No? All right, thank you very much for the update.
Thank you, Betty.
Okay, thank you.
Our next item.
Item J, Commission, number 1, consider approval of Resolution number 2018-42, establishing the 2019 holidays.
Well, Commissioners, it's that time to start thinking about next year and setting the holiday schedule for 2019. Are there any questions or additions to the proposed 2019 holiday schedule?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Administrative Communications.
This is an opportunity for any department head or member of the public to address the Commission on any item. All right. Commissioner Bueller, anything?
No, so quiet. I don't have anything. Thank you.
Commissioner Archer, anything?
I'll wait till Monday.
All right. I might note that we do have an addition down the hall in the cafeteria snack bar area. There is now a monitor, so the public would have the opportunity to observe the county commission meeting from the cafeteria. So starting on Monday, if we have a excess capacity here, we have the public ability to participate and observe the county commission meeting in the cafeteria just a short distance away, so that nobody's left out or left behind. So I think that will enable us to have a little bit more seating capacity so that they would be able to participate.
Right, and soon, I think that furniture will be replaced.
Yes.
So
We're working
we'll
on
probably have
replacing the
more.
furniture and updating, as we've been updating the cafeteria area, just to bring it up and refresh it. It was
It
long
looks
needed.
nice. It looks nice. It's very nice.
So, I don't have any additional administrative communications. Our next item.
Executive session.
There is not a need for an executive session today. We are adjourned.
So,